In 1960, a captain of police was appointed as the new commissioner of police department. He worked very hard to get there. His appointing was a reward for his commitment and hard working and the success on breaking down a complex criminal case and bringing down the perpetrator. The captain was known for his intelligence and capability of reaching or catching the perpetrators in no time. His intelligence and popularity made him being arrogant. His colleagues remembered him as the person who wants to climb the stairs fast. He just wants to be promoted. His only concern was to close any case faster than ever. That's why he entered in a whirlpool of speculation with no evidence, and as a result he is starting to get away from the fact and searching deeply to find the truth, but he is now starting to improvise. For him, no one can question him or his decisions or speculations, and no one can give even his or her opinion. As a matter of fact, isn't he the popular a captain? On the 15th of October 1960, a corpse was found, a 50 years old man known in the area. The corpse had a wound in his head by something. The police did not know what it is exactly. This is the only conclusion that the captain came up with. The captain started questioning starting from the environment or nearby. The victim was working as a farmer in the neighborhood where he used to live. People still remembers that fight or that argument with his neighbor. Their kids were playing together outside. The kid of the victim broke a toy of the neighboring kid. When the neighbor heard the screams and the crying of his kid, he went out and he slapped the kid of the victim. The victim went out and started a fight with the man. The neighbor fell off on the ground, and the whole neighborhood started laughing at him. The neighbor then get up quickly and went home, and he brought a bat and he went out to hit the victim, swearing and promising that he will kill him. In the end, the neighbors came in between them and the things calmed down. People started gossiping about what had happened. It was the last thing they talked about, and when they heard about the killing of the victim, they did not ask who did it. The whole finger pointing was to the last person he had a fight with him. And the captain knew these facts, and he put the man on custody, and he entered him into a deep search. After 2 nights of questioning, the man broke down and he admitted that he killed the man. The record said that the perpetrator was stalking the victim, and he took the advantage of finding him in a dark area, in a dark alley, and he gave him a huge hit with the bat he was holding. He hit him in the head, and when the victim was down, he went and continued his way to home. The captain was sufficient with this confession, and he did not bother himself to check the story of the man or bring in the sufficient evidence to support his claims. He finished the search and ended another case. This case was another successful case that he solved it and gave the perpetrator to the courtroom, and again in no time, in a faster way possible. And that's what made him now getting promoted into a larger area than he was before. His assistants had to keep quiet, and no one dared to disagree with his decisions. Many of them knew the sadness and the misery the captain causes with his haste and his rushiness. He used to press and put a lot of pressure on the first suspect he finds until he or she confesses. And sometimes the person confesses some things that he never did. When he left this department into the larger one, he was replaced by an old experienced captain. He was known for his patience and sobriety and not rushing into giving judges. The newly appointed captain got the confidence and trust from the assistants in the early days, and he made clear of the way his president used to work. Many people are now talking and saying what they could not in the era of the president captain. The newly appointed captain also did not care about the effort made by the assistants for bringing the facts and evidence needed in the cases, and he usually accused them of laziness, and in sometimes he neglected them and worked alone and made any decision all by himself without taking their advice, even if he has a wrong decision. His only concern is to stay into his superior's eyes, the captain that can solve anything, any crime in any time. The case is now reopened. The perpetrator, who was accused of killing his neighbor, he is saying he is innocent, and he said that the all confession he made, he was forced to say all these things. The courtroom did not find any evidence to lock this perpetrator or this person in jail, as there is no evidence to support the claim. And that's why they give the case to the newly appointed captain. And soon as the captain started this case, an officer came to him with an observation, said that the name of the victim is also in another case, a case of inheritance. So based on that information, the captain went to the courtroom to see this judge that is leading this case, and he was an honorable man, respected by all the people. The captain knew from the judge that the victim was the oldest son of an old man, died 10 years ago, and he left a good inheritance, a very good one, some huge lands. He also left a woman, a pregnant woman. He secretly married her, and she was pregnant with a boy. The boy, he was considered as the real inheritance of these lands. The captain knew also that What's stopping the inheritance sharing is an appeal made by the brother of the stepmother of the victim, that he is saying that the victim is that he was a born baby in unregistered marriage. But the judge said that since the father did not deny his son, he will have his peace. What the captain found put the shadow of doubts on everything the precedent captain had found concerning this case. Also, these new info made the captain think that who benefits the most from this. The captain investigates the perpetrator again, and the perpetrator said that he really threatened him in a moment of rage. He really threatened him to kill him, but he denied completely that he do it. The captain listened to the widow of the victim, and she said that she had never seen any hatred or fights with her husband, her dead husband, and his stepmother. She added that the brother of his stepmother, used to sit and talk with her husband in order to find a way that suits all of them. She also added that in the day the man died, he was in an appointment with the brother of his stepmother. This info made a way for the captain to question the brother, but he denied any relationship between the deceased and him. And he added that everything she said is just imaginary. After 2 days, the judge asked her to come and to bring with her the civil status book, which is a book full of information of the husband, the wife, and the children. But she replied that the victim gave it to the brother of his stepmother the same day when he died. The captain did not show any emotion in front of the wife, the widowed, but he knew that a lead just came up. He promised her to get this book back. The captain decided to surprise the two, the brother and the stepmother of the victim, in her house. Some assistants came with him. He entered the house and he made a precise and careful inspection until he found that book, the civil status book of the deceased victim. When the captain asked the brother, he replied that the victim gave it to him. This response was enough for him to re-investigate him, because before he denied any knowledge of anything with the victim. In the police department, he went through a deep interrogation. Specific interrogations led or fruit and specific confessions. He confessed that he killed the man. He said that he was there at the time he was fighting with his neighbor, and he heard the neighbor threaten him to kill him. He also confessed that he had an appointment with the victim to see a land that is in the inheritance. And when he get there, and it was an empty land with no people in it, he thought that if he killed him, he will end everything once and for all. he will end the suffering with his sister inheritance problem, and no one will doubt that he killed him. And all they will think that the killer is his neighbor, that he already threatened him. And in the presence of all the neighborhood, he hit him with a bat and took him to the village. The perpetrator was found innocent this time, and he was sent home free, and the way of working of the president captain was exposed. And the captain, after this, he gave his resignation and disappeared.